Hello, I'm Steve Lusk with the Red Bank Church of Christ, and I'm here to share with you some thoughts for our His Life devotional for today. Today is Friday, July the 3rd, 2020. Our lesson for today is from the 26th week of the series, and the theme of the lesson is Jesus is our example. This week we've been looking at Jesus as the way, the truth, and the life. And certainly Jesus shows us the way to be the kind of example that we should be to others. There are a couple of passages to point out here. One that the author chooses is from Matthew chapter 3, verses 16 and 17, that discusses the aftermath of the baptism of Jesus. Jesus went to the Jordan River to be baptized by John. He certainly didn't do that in order to receive the forgiveness of sins, for he had no sins. The Bible tells us he did that in order to fulfill all righteousness or to do the right thing. He did it to obey God, but he also did it to please God and to set an example for us. And listen to what the text says. As soon as Jesus was baptized, he went up out of the water. At that moment, heaven was opened, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and alighting on him. And a voice from heaven said, "This is my Son, whom I love. With him I am well pleased." You see, God is pleased when we do his commands. And Jesus shows us the way to please God. I'm reminded also of the passage that Peter wrote in 1 Peter chapter 2, beginning of verse number 21. He's talking about suffering here for doing the right thing, and how that's really a good thing, even though it may be difficult. And he says this, "To this," that is suffering for doing right, "you were called, because Christ suffered for you, leaving you an example that you should follow in his steps. He committed no sin, and no deceit was found in his mouth. When they hurled their insults at him, he did not retaliate. When he suffered, he made no threats. Instead, he entrusted himself to him who judges justly. He himself bore our sins in his body on the cross, so that we might die to sins and live for righteousness. By his wounds you have been healed." That's from 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 21 through 24. So Jesus is the way. Jesus is the way to show us how to endure suffering or any kind of wrongs that are done to us. Jesus is the way to show us how obedient to God. And if you think about it, Jesus is just the way to show us everything. He is the way, the truth, and the life. He shows us the way how to treat our neighbors. He shows us the way how to treat people who are hurting. He shows us the way how to deal with difficult questions. So many things we can go on and on to talk about. So let Jesus be your example today. Let him be the one who shows you the way, because he is the way, the truth, and the life. And in turn, set a good example for others so that you can show them the way to Jesus. Thank you so much for watching today. And as always, if there's anything we can do to help you, to encourage you, to pray for you, then please contact us here at Red Bank Church of Christ and let us know, and we'll do all we can to respond to your need. God bless. You have a great day and a great weekend.